What's your favorite Ohtani story that you've heard from somebody? Anybody, Dodgers organization, somebody that you've come across around the batting cage?
That's a great question. I have Ohtani things that ramble around in my head. So the first thing is they list him at 6'3", 210. If he's 6'3", I'm 210. Like he's 6'4" and a half, and he's probably 235. The other part that I'm dying to ask him to do, I don't believe he's done it, but it's hard with the translator to get at it. So there's a machine called Traject that almost all these teams have now. And what it is a pitching machine for the hitters. And it will take basically a video of the guy. So he's throwing from the slot that he throws from. So you're taking Blake Snell. Mm-hmm. Now, it doesn't just show you Blake Snell and have him release from where he releases from. The spin rate on the changeup is the same. The spin rate on the fastball is the same. The shape of the slider is the same. What I want is Ohtani, the hitter, to face Ohtani, the pitcher, and say, what do you see? I think that would be amazing.
We thought about that.
And I don't believe he's done it. And then I asked a couple of guys on his team, and they said they didn't think he would.
Why?
Because
he doesn't want to know the answer?
Well, no, because as funny as it sounds, with all this high-tech equipment, he basically does like flips and soft toss. He doesn't hit off of like the high velo machines or anything like that, is what I'm told. So he's incredible. The one part about it with last night, the night before, he's cramping on the bases. He's on the base 9 times, and everybody's sitting there saying, man, I don't know. And yes, I understand. We have expectations. But at a certain point, when we're surprised by what he does, it's on us. Gosh, it really surprised me. He was able to go out and throw 6 shutout innings and hit 3 homers. At what point are we? It's kind of our fault that we're like, God, this guy's different. You think? You know what I mean? So I just, it's stunning. It's Little League type stuff what he's able to do.
And the Little League type stuff is also the fun that he's having as well.
I love the smile.
It's not just that. It's not just the smile too. It's the living in the moment and having fun. There was a moment last night. Again, he gets the leadoff walk, not the intentional, unintentional, whatever we want to call it. And there's a fielder's choice at second. I don't know if it was the shortstop or the second baseman who fielded the throw for the out. Mm-hmm. But Ohtani slides in, and his cleat lands on top of the foot of the fielder. I don't know if you saw this moment. He took I guess the back of his glove or something, and he wiped off the fielder's top of his foot because he left a dirt smudge or whatever, and then just kind of looked up at him. I don't know if he winked at him or whatever, and ran off the field. I've never seen anything like that. It was like he has those moments with his opponents, or just being able to live and saying, I'm having fun at this.
I could not agree more that it's a rarity that we get to see the competitiveness and the joy at the same time. Right. For the most part, with Michael Jordan, you would see the competitiveness. You wouldn't see the joy until it was over. To see guys have the joy, with the Cubs on television, we have a pitcher named Shota Imanaga, who is the epitome of that. You get to see the joy and how hard he's competing, and I love that so much.
Well, Pete Crow Armstrong is from around here, man, from Harvard Westlake. Everybody around here in Southern California owns feels like they own his success right now because he's one of Southern California right now. He probably can eat wherever he wants in Chicago right now.
He's 23 years old. He has a self-awareness and a maturity. I told this story. I thought it was really neat. He told me that growing up, he would wake his father up, and his dad would either go in the backyard and play baseball with him, or he would sit him in front of the television and make him watch the Kerry Wood 20 strikeout game. He watched it hundreds of times. And he told me that story out here last season, so in 2024. It was right after the Cubs Hall of Fame weekend when Kerry Wood went in. And I said, did you get a chance to meet Kerry? And he said, I did. And I said, did you tell him that story? And he said, nah, man, that weekend's about him. It's not about me. I didn't want to make it about me. And for a 23-year-old kid to have that level of awareness, and it plays out constantly, his ability to reflect. I mean, look, he's still working on things and learning and growing, but at 23 years old, as a human, he's interesting, and I really love the kid.
That's amazing, because it really is about Kerry Wood to go up to Kerry and say, hey,
yes,
you know, you're...
But it's still, I love that.
The humility?
Telling that about, that he's special.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app, 12 to 3 Eastern. What is it like to be in a World Series stadium? Explain to everybody listening to us on ESPN Radio or at home on Disney Plus, ESPN, and everywhere else. What is it like to be in a World Series stadium watching Shohei Ohtani be unstoppable? What is that like for you?
You have to remind yourself that you're watching the greatest player who ever played baseball. And I think he's in the conversation for the greatest athlete ever. And what has especially come out in this postseason is, for the first time, is Shohei, I mean, wildly talented, but in this postseason, for the first time, we're seeing competitive rage. Like, we saw it in Tiger Woods. We saw it in Michael Jordan. We've seen it in Tom Brady. But there was a game against Milwaukee, game 2 of that series. He strikes out with the bases loaded, and he's going back to the dugout, and you could see in his face he was so angry. And the next day, he goes out on the field and he takes batting practice in Dodger Stadium, which he never does. And it's clear he's angry. And Dave Roberts, the Dodgers manager, told us that he's asked, like, how much is Shohei aware of the narrative around him? And by that time, there was conversations about, you know, does the pitching take away from his hitting and vice versa? Mm-hmm. And his interpreter told Dave he hears it all. Like, he absorbs it all, like we always heard about Jordan. And I think that's what we're seeing right now, is that the talent, and now with this hyper-focus, understanding how people are watching him, it's so cool. And, I mean, to have a major league manager after the game basically say, yeah, we're not pitching to him anymore. He's that good. John Schneider, the Blue Jays manager, after walking him 5 times intentionally, saying going forward, that's how he's going to deal with him. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's not like there's a 200 hitter behind him. There's Betts, Freeman, and Smith behind him.
Hall of Famers.
So you are intentionally walking an individual to potentially set up a big inning. Right. And also, forget a big inning, half the time that they did that last night, it was in all you need is 1-run situation.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like I mean, I've seen Bonds. I know Buck Showalter walked Bonds with the bases loaded once. I mean, that's the only thing you can compare it to. And it's interesting, though, too, Buster Olney from ESPN Radio and ESPN here on the Rich Eisen Show, that you mentioned for Ohtani competitive rage, because I would also use the words effortless joy to describe the way he plays the game as well. And so you've got a combination of effortless joy and competitive rage. Holy cow. Honestly, I'm now out of words to describe it.
I look, when, you know, a lot of times the producers on SportsCenter will say, hey, we want to talk about Ohtani. What do you want to say? And I'm just like, it's simple. He's the greatest we've ever seen, and no one's close. And look, forget what idiot sports writers like myself think, okay?
Okay.
When you see the reaction from other athletes to Ohtani, right? LeBron James tweeting out about him, J.J. Watt tweeting out about him, people who are understand how phenomenal and the range of skills he has as an athlete, and he's impressing them, that tells me everything.
Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app, 12 to 3 Eastern.